Everybody. Sorry I hadn't made a video. I've been down with the flu and it's been rough. And today it's rainy and cold outside, and I'm just sitting in here by the fire taking meds and being all doped up. But I think it's part 5 of groups. Um, which one is better? A small group, between 4 to 6, 7 people, or a large group, say 10 to 20, 25. Which one would you prefer to be in? Both has its advantages, both has its disadvantages. Um, you know, Being in a small group, you won't have to produce the amount of food you would, or to gather the amount of food you would if you were with a large group. Um, Being with a small group, you're going to be less noticeable. You could be in an area and people might not know there's a smaller group there, because, like I said, less people. But on the downside, if you do come under attack, you're going to have less people there to help defend. Just like in large groups, you're going to have to go out and get a lot of food for 10 to 25 people. And because the people coming, they're bringing supplies and stuff like that, but everybody's going to go through that stuff. The people are going to go through their supplies, and just like a small group, they'll have a smaller garden that might not be noticeable compared to a large group, and have a big garden or multiple small gardens all around the area, but people's going to come across those. But if they do get attacked, a larger group will have more people, more firepower to fend off the attackers. I mean, it's going to be, that one's up in the air. I don't, and a small group and a large group can have all the problems I've named from the other 4 videos. Just because you're in a small group don't mean none of those problems are going to come up. Everybody thinks, oh, that's just for large groups. Even in a small group, one of those problems that I named in my past 4 videos can become an issue. So there's no getting away from that, either in a small group or a large group. But the larger the group, the bigger the area you're going to need, and eventually you'll have to make like a compound of sorts. If from people just walking in. If you're in a larger group, you can kind of stay in the shadows a little bit better. But with larger groups, you will have to have some kind of compound in order to protect the area you're in. If groups have to bug out, being in a smaller group, you can slip away easier because there's less people. In a larger group, you're going to have a lot of people moving away, and it's easier to track. So I don't know. Large groups, small groups, they each have their own pros and cons, I guess. Like I said, I know 3 or 4 guys, and their family, that we're going to kind of come together. But I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think a smaller group's better? Do you think a bigger group's better? Like I said, they each have the benefits, then they each have a downfall. And if you guys are forming a group, thinking about forming a group, you guys should really sit down and think how many people you want. You know, think about, okay, if we get a large group, we're going to have extra food, extra medical, you know, all kinds of extra care and stuff. Then you got to, if you got little ones running around, you got to have somebody to take care of the little ones. And a larger group, you know, you're going to have a lot. It's going to be harder to be quiet because, especially with little ones, you know, little ones, they run, scream, yell, play, whatever, and they can't understand. So you're going to have somebody to help with the little ones. In a smaller group, it might just be left up to one or both parents to kind of take on that responsibility. But in a larger group, you know, if you got, say, 10 families and you got 10 kids or 12 kids running around from toddler up to teenagers, that's a lot of noise. So that's something you got to think about. And you got to think about, okay, are the area we in, is it suitable for a large group? Are they plenty of game? Are they a good water source? Are they a good area so we can have a protection? You know, compared to a smaller group where you might find a nice sized cave to get in, fortify it with a, you know, water source already in it, or, you know, it don't have to be grade A hunting and trapping, you know, compared to a larger group. Um, you know, what's going to be the plans of the group? You know, a smaller group can move, like be nomads if need be, you know, from one place to the other place without drawing a lot of attention. You know, if you get 25 people moving in one area, that's going to draw attention. That's going to draw other people to that group wanting to join up, you know, or something like that. Um, what are the group's plans? Let it be small group or large group? Or do you want to incorporate other people? Are you wanting to set up like a trading center so that will help taking care of the group? And then that brings in more problems, you know, doing something like that. Everything you think about to help the group out, let it be small or large groups, it's going to cause controversy. It's going to cause problems because it's going to draw strangers to you. Let it be you set up a trading center and say somebody brings in some antibiotics they scavenged, and you say, okay, we'll give you 2 pounds of tomatoes for that. They might want 3 pounds of tomatoes, and they cause problems. You know, you're going to have security there. You have to set up some types of rules if somebody comes into your compound to do trading or anything like that. You'll have to make it where they're unarmed, or just a certain amount of people at a time could come in. You know, where then if you have a smaller group, you could kind of send people out to other trading areas, and you're not bringing that in. But you could do that with bigger groups, but the more people you're letting out, that's drawing more attention to you. But I hope you guys understand. You know, like I said, small groups are good. You know, big groups are good. You know, they got their benefits, then they got their non-benefits. You know, if you're going to form a group, you really do need to sit down and think about it. You know, think about different areas of what the size is going to involve. How much supplies? How much, you know, medical? How much extra food? What's the area like? You know, then you got to think about how you can um, make life better, and that's by trade. That's by, you know, there's a number of things you could use. But like I said, it brings in others that you might not want. And yeah, tell me what you guys think. What do you think is a good sized group? You know, what would you guys prefer? And have you thought about these other problems dealing with a small or a large group? You know, if you want to form one, you know, what's the best size, do you guys think? And, you know, just sorry, my mind went blah. Like I said, I got a lot of medicine in me. And tell me what you guys think about this. And if you guys got anything else to add, pros or cons to a small group or to a large group, leave them in the comments, because that might help somebody who's thinking about forming a group. And you know, they might want a big group, but then they start thinking and they realize, well, maybe a smaller group's the way to go. Then vice versa, you know, maybe a larger group. But tell me what you guys think, and I appreciate it. Um, to my hobgoblin friend, thank you for the Christmas package. It was great. I plan on wearing one of the necklaces. My wife likes the other one, so you know, my hobgoblin scout, I really appreciate it. Hold on, Eric's in the background. Go. But I thank you, my friend. I really do appreciate it. It's some cool stuff in there. Everybody, I hope you're having a great, you know, upcoming, you know, days to come for Christmas. You know, hope you're safe out there shopping. Hope you're safe out there working. We've got a cold front coming in, so I got to get over this because I know I'm fixing to get slammed with firewood orders. Everybody, be safe. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.